Welcome to the Awaken, Heal, and Thrive podcast. This episode is called, Does the Law of Attraction Manifest You into a Different Universe? I'm Benjamin Bernstein, and this episode is sponsored by my online membership called Awakening Plus at awakeningplus.com and my #1 Amazon bestseller called Instant Divine Assistance. I publish both audio and video versions of Awaken, Heal, and Thrive, so take your pick. The video versions are on my YouTube channel called Benjamin Bernstein Podcasts. I drop new episodes of this podcast twice monthly. Be sure to subscribe to Awaken, Heal, and Thrive wherever you get it. And if you haven't already, be sure to click the link in the show notes for a free chance to win a full year of my Awakening Plus online membership. I announce a new winner every month. In fact, I announce our May 2024 winner later in this episode. Keep your ears peeled if you have entered. So, does the law of attraction manifest you into a different universe? This idea has been hinted at in different teachings, but it's most blatantly front and center in a recent book called How to Change Your Universe, a practical guide to living the greatest life possible in the greatest world possible by John Gabriel. He's better known for a very popular diet book he wrote years ago that I read years ago as well. But now he's gone metaphysical, and his premise is that when you do law of attraction, you're not so much changing this universe, you are transporting yourself to another universe where what you want already exists, since there are an infinite number of possible universes with an infinite range of possibilities. His idea is the exact reality you want is already there somewhere, and law of attraction work in this manner can shift you to that universe. Of course, it could also be asserted that when you do law of attraction, you're simply remodeling this universe and making it what you want it to be. And in my opinion, this is one of those things that it doesn't so much matter which way you think about it, because if you're going to a different multiverse, or if you're changing this one, how would you even know the difference? Either way, it's changed, and they might be indistinguishable from one another despite your theoretical construct. It's kind of like what I've said in a previous episode where I said, if we want to bring paradise to Earth, is that paradise going to come in this 3D reality? Or is it going to be after you die and are reborn into a higher manifestation of Earth? Either way, the things you do here, the living in love and light, being of service to others, just being the most awakened and healed you can be, is going to get you to either place, whichever one it turns out to be, and the same method will get you there. And in the same way of thinking, my thinking here is that whether a law of attraction manifestation puts you into a different universe where what you wanted was already present, or whether you're shifting this one, as long as it turns out the same, what does the theory matter? It's a fascinating concept, and in my younger years, I was much more prone to that sort of mental imagining and wondering and trying to figure stuff out. But now I say, hey, as long as the outcome is good and all is well for everyone, then hey, however it turns out to be is great. In fact, as long as I'm talking law of attraction, I haven't really done an episode on law of attraction here on Awaken, Heal, and Thrive, and I've been reading deeply on it. In the last month, I probably read 15 law of attraction books, and I'm diving deeply into this because I now am ready to manifest my ideal reality much more potently than I ever have. And I've read enough of these books now that I'm getting a sense of what are the things all these authors agree on and where do they have differences of opinion. So I'm going to give you my current overview. Basically, the law of attraction, everyone agrees, is using your thoughts to create physical reality. The idea is if you hold a strong vision, and if you're doing it with very strong visualization, you're really precisely imagining exactly what you want to the highest possible level of detail. And equally important, if you're putting powerful, positive emotions into this, as you're imagining that the thing you want has already happened in your mind, it's real now. And if you're feeling the powerful, positive, wonderful emotions that would be true if that reality was there, that's what really keys it in. This kind of works on two levels. On a more scientific level, you're really impregnating your subconscious with these visions, and it takes a lot of repetition and a lot of reinforcement so that subconscious begins expecting that reality. And then your reticular activating system, the part of you that controls what you pay attention to. One fascinating side note here is the vast majority of the input that comes to you is filtered out by the reticular activating system. It only gives this tiny fraction of the input available to you, kind of what you're expecting and wanting to experience. So one thing that law of attraction does, as you hold repetitively the vision, this is what I want, these are the feelings I'm having as I imagine having it, your reticular activating system says, oh, I better pay attention to that. And it begins to alert itself to opportunities, just as when you, say, have bought a red Ford Bronco. All of a sudden, everywhere you look, oh my God, I never knew there were so many red Ford Broncos. There's probably not any more than there used to be, but you're tuned into them now. And when you do this kind of repetitive work mentally, really imagining what you want with strong emotionality, then you just become more attentive to that sort of thing happening. And thus the opportunities to move into it are greater because you're now aware of them. Whereas before you started focusing, you might have been oblivious to all the opportunities out there. You just weren't tuned for them until then. The other idea, of course, is that the universe is a hologram. And when a human really focuses themselves and puts a lot of really consistent, strong energy out about what you want, then the universe actually remolds itself. One of the law of attraction books says, you know what? According to science, the universe is 96% dark matter. Only about 4% of the mass of the universe can be accounted for by physical stuff. So therefore, the vast majority of the universe, whether you call it dark matter, whether you call it the ether, whatever terminology you want, it's waiting to come into form. It isn't physical right now. It's just waiting. It's being told, well, tell me what to do. I've got potential here, and why don't you activate it? And strong, focused thoughts and emotions tend to activate this stuff and bring it into reality. It's not like you're going to discover something that was already there. When you do law of attraction, you are actually creating from scratch, in a sense, the reality you're looking for. So I mentioned I've been reading a bunch of books. My all-time favorite right now is called Creating Money, Attracting Abundance. The human authors are Sanaya Roman and Duane Packer, but they channel a couple of entities. This is just the most clear, simple, direct, easy to understand, easy to implement of all the books. So that's my current favorite. I've got a couple others that I really like as well. One is called Becoming Supernatural, How Common People Are Doing the Uncommon by Dr. Joe Dispenza. You may well have heard of him. A third book that I really like is Total Law of Attraction, Unleash Your Secret Creative Power to Get What You Want by Dr. David Che. That's C-H-E. So there's all kind of other great books too. I mean, they all have something to say, but these three would be top of the list. And definitely that first one I recommended is my current favorite choice. In terms of what's a just simple, clear, quickie, how would you start using law of attraction if you aren't already, or how would you check what you're doing? Here's what I get. I believe it's good to get it on paper. You want to write down the outcome you desire in as much detail as possible. If you did it electronically, be sure to print it out. Ink on paper represents the first level of physical manifestation. Optionally, a physical or electronic vision board. You can paste stuff down on a physical board, or you can create something electronically and put it out. There's also this stuff called mind movies, where you can go in there and they'll help you pull the imagery, put words on top of it, have music playing. There's a mindmovie.com, I think is the site. Or if you're good with video editing, you could construct that yourself from scratch. So anything from a simple physical vision board to more elaborate electronic things could be helpful. And they're not mandatory, but some people find it helpful to have the external imagery to focus on. Whether or not you got a mind movie, you want to see the movie in your mind. As I've already emphasized, you want to imagine what you desire as if it has already manifested. See it now. In other words, you're not saying, I want this. You're not saying, I'm going to have this. You're saying, I have this now. It is my current reality. Yes, we know it's not real in 3D yet, but you have to program your subconscious. You have to program the universe. And if you keep saying, this is coming to me, what the universe manifests, oh, this is coming to you, but it's not here yet. So you never get it. But if you say, I have it now, and you're seeing it already real, then it comes into form more easily and efficiently. So as I already said, you imagine that 3D movie in your mind, live your desired reality in your imagination in great detail, and engage all five senses. Can you see it? Can you hear it? Can you smell it? Can you taste it if appropriate? Can you touch it? The more you can bring all five senses, and if you're beyond that, bring in your other senses. I mean, can you feel the energy and the subtle vibration of what you bring in? You can bring in your sixth sense too, if you can. You want to, as I said, feel powerful, positive emotions as you imagine this, such as love, joy, euphoria, and celebration, and especially gratitude, the best of them all. If you can be really grateful, and I'm learning how to be more grateful myself. I'm learning, I can't just think gratitude. I have to feel it in my heart chakra. I now say I feel gratitude in my heart. And I feel that flow of energy out to what I'm grateful for. And it's a whole different experience actually feeling that energy come out of your heart chakra than just having a concept about it. In your imagination, celebrate the fact that your desires have now magnificently manifested. And a lot of the books say, you know what, don't get attached to the particular way you're seeing it. Yes, you need to see it very specifically and very concretely, but be willing to accept an upgrade. Use what I call the karma-free safety clause to ensure that your visualization is in harmony with divine law. Say at the very least, this or something better, which is kind of a shorthand for this or something better now manifests for the highest good of all. As I said, this gives spirit permission to substitute as needed or give you an even more wonderful outcome. This also makes sure you're not interfering in anyone's karma with the after effects. You're saying, this is what I want. I'm stating it clearly, but hey, feel free to modify this for highest good. I'm not attached to it looking exactly like this. And this is important because as you awaken more deeply, and having had a series of progressive awakenings over the years, what I can conceive now and see as possibilities were inconceivable to me before this. So just understand the best, most awesome reality you can imagine right now is not as good as it could get. So be willing to accept an upgrade so your more awakened self can have an even better reality, and be willing to let the universe give you that superior reality that is beyond your current conception. Other considerations, law of attraction isn't just a technique, it's a lifestyle. This has really come home to me in my recent round of reading. Your ability to attract will be influenced by your everyday vibration. The more consistently you experience positive thoughts and uplifting emotions, the more easily and consistently you will attract what you visualize and routinely magnetize good experiences to you. When you notice yourself having negative thoughts or emotions, change them to their positive opposite or something uplifting. The pivot technique is just the positive opposite. Instead of saying, oh, I'm always going to be poor, you say, no, I am abundant and wealthy. However, this is not an excuse for spiritual bypass. If certain challenging thoughts and emotions keep coming up, it's important to do effective shadow work on them. For example, my free healing invocation has helped thousands clear their old wounds and traumas with surprising ease and speed. I've linked that in the show notes, or you can go to astroshaman.com/invocations. There's a free video there that will show you how to have your higher self heal whatever's coming up in you, and heal it more amazingly quick than you might have thought possible. Thousands of people have experienced this. Also, one criticism that movie The Secret got when it got so popular is it was all self-centered. I just want my material stuff. But law of attraction can be selfless. It does not have to be self-centered. You can just as easily use it to manifest for the benefit of others. In fact, this #1 book I'm recommending says it's good to imagine everybody having wonderful abundance, everybody getting what they want and need. And that actually makes it easier for you to get what you want as well. Everybody wins when the rising tide lifts all the boats. How often should you do these law of attraction visualizations? There is a wide variety of opinions on this topic. One of the books I recommended says twice a day tops for 5 or 10 minutes. Others say the more, the better. And there's a lot of variety of opinion on this, but my current thinking is the more, the better. Because again, you're not just telling the universe what you want. And yes, the universe probably heard you the first time, but your subconscious mind needs a lot of repetition. You got to get your subconscious mind on board so it's routinely, creating and looking for that stuff. And you want to keep letting the universe know what you're calling in. So my own opinion is the more, the better. And I think the last 4 law of attraction books I've read have all said, yep, do this as often as you can. The more you visualize it, the quicker it's going to come. Finally, leave how and when in spirit's hands. Don't worry about how or when your desires will manifest. Do not tie the universe's hands by insisting that your desire has to show up in a particular way, since this may block or delay its manifestation. However, if you can see ways in which your own efforts can help bring it about, by all means, lend a hand. And this gets into a related point. I started checking out Law of Attraction podcasts and was a little bit shocked. Oh my God, there's episodes here that are basically doing love magic. I say, you can make this particular person fall in love with you and be your partner. And I think that's very bad karma. If you want a partner, say, yes, I'm imagining this person as the template for the kind of person I want, but do not insist it has to be a particular person. Please, that's interfering with their karma. You can say, if this person is the one and it's both our highest good, fabulous. If not, I'm willing to take equal or better to this particular person I may be thinking of. So don't force another person to bend to your will, not if you're on the path of love and light, but do call for what you want and do be willing for it to show up in surprising and wonderful ways. And a little bit more on the how. Sometimes I talk about people, oh, I could win the lottery. But winning the lottery is not an end to itself. You want the lottery win for the money, and even the money is not an end to itself, because the money ultimately is just, you think, I'll be happy if I have money. Basically, all our desires fundamental pretty much boil down to, I want to be happy. So be really clear on what your ultimate motivation is. Don't confuse the means with the ends. So if you say, I want to attract such and such, Ask yourself a deeper question. Why do I even want that? What reward will I get from having that? And keep digging down until you can't go any further in. And usually it boils down to, I want to be happy. So be clear that happiness can come in many ways. And if you really are asking for just the ultimate thing you really want, then that makes it much easier for the universe to give you all kinds of wonderful ways to get to that really ultimate end goal without you having to tie its hands by saying it has to look just this way. Nothing wrong with holding the vision of the best you can conceive it right now. But again, don't get attached to that. Always say this or something better. So that's my current thinking on law of attraction. It will surely evolve over time. I'm as much a student as a master of this by all means at this point, but I thought I'd share what I've learned so far in case any of that might be helpful to you. If you're into law of attraction and you see that I'm missing something or have a wrong idea, please communicate with me, benjamin@astroshaman.com, or make a reply to this podcast episode if you can do that, where your app is on YouTube or whatever. But I'd love to get anyone else's insights if they feel like they've got a tip that could help me evolve my own thinking. So that's that. This episode is co-sponsored by my online membership called Awakening Plus, where we're going to have some law of attraction courses very soon, where you can awaken, heal, and thrive easily, quickly, and affordably. Here's a quote from one of our members. They said, "The Awakening Plus events always take me to a higher level of consciousness. I experience a high altered state of bliss with my beingness full of light." And another member says, quote, "Probably the best material I've come across in terms of instant and palpable, invaluable, and it's something I want to practice. Thank you." Click the link in the show notes to learn more about Awakening Plus, or visit awakeningplus.com. That's awakeningplus.com. Also, here's a 5-star Amazon review of my book from Kitsy, who headlined it, "This book really helped my spiritual journey." She says, "I love this book and the way it was written. The invocations are simple, accessible, customizable, and effective. I've been using them daily, and I sleep better, feel more peaceful, and have had a large number of epiphanies in a short time. In my opinion, this book delivers on its promise as long as you do the work." End quote. The 15-word title of my #1 bestseller is Instant Divine Assistance, your complete guide to fast and easy spiritual awakening, healing, and more. If you'd like to listen, my audiobook is free if you are not yet an Audible member. Instant Divine Assistance is also available as an ebook, paperback, and hardcover. Click a link in the show notes to check it out on Audible or Amazon, or read it in Kindle Unlimited. I mentioned I'm announcing our May 2024 winner of a free 1-year membership to Awakening Plus. The winner is Danielle. That's Daniele. This is the only Danielle who has entered the contest. So if that's you, please email me, benjamin@astroshaman.com, and we'll get you set up with your free year of Awakening Plus. Congratulations. And to you as well, thank you for being here. Once again, I'm Benjamin Bernstein, and we are wrapping up. Please leave me a 5-star rating, review, or comment wherever you're getting this episode so others can also awaken, heal, and thrive. And be sure to click the link in the show notes for a chance to win a free year of my Awakening Plus online membership. Thanks again for spending this time with me. I wish you infinite blessings.